I'm going to go over a couple of tickers, including Aapl and Tesla. But first up, TSM. We ended the day at $113.03, up more than 9%. Congratulations if you've made some money off of this stock. The 52-week low, $81.21. The 52-week high, $113.39. This is where we ended, very close to resistance, and that would take us to $114.98. Above that, 117.76, and at 4 standard deviations, roughly $120.34. Now, to the south side, takes us to a gap fill at 110.04. The middle of the trend, it takes us back down to 109.43. 103.92, that gap closes to the downside at 103.18. And negative 3 standard deviations is 101.16. Another gap forms to the south side at $100.49, closes out at $99.74. And finally, at negative 4 standard deviations and another level of support and a potential buy-in area, $98.40. I'm in this trade. I bought in at $96.95 a while ago and also at $99.10. I actually had a sell order in, and I've had it in for quite some time, thinking I'm just going to throw a number out there that's way higher and it will get there eventually. But it happened today because I just looked at it yesterday. And this morning when I saw it at 111, I quickly canceled my sell order. So tonight, because of the new numbers, I'm going to re-enter a number at roughly, I don't know, maybe if I really want to get rid of this, 117.69, but it won't, I don't know if it'll go up there on Friday, but this is just because I want to hang on just a little longer, but I probably will sell it here, and I don't think it'll happen quickly. It's just I'm throwing out a number and I'd be happy to let it go at this price. But the 1-year price target is now $120.53. And if we make it to 4 standard deviations, we are so close to that. So I want to keep it to hit this. Obviously, there are landmines to the south side that will definitely take us south, but I think things are turning around for TSM finally. And it ran on some good news. And I thought it was here. Sunny. The outlook is sunny on improving fundamentals, Wedbush says. So click that if you want to read the article. But after we hit this one, of course, this will take a while. The next forecast is at 142.90. So if you're doing longer term investing, that is the potential upside, but obviously a lot of pain to the south side as well. This gap closed to the upside at 103.92. This one as well. We have tons of gaps that have filled because I've been in this one. I've been tracking it for a long time. Ignore all those horizontal lines. Those are previous support and resistance. And this line was the previous price target that has already been filled. And we have some gaps also to the downside here that I need to extend because I stopped extending it a while ago because I haven't really paid attention too much to this stock lately. But I am in TSM, AMD, Intel for my mom. I've never gotten into NVIDIA, so that one's had quite a run up. And the RSI on TSM on the 5 is basically near 70 there. And I will anticipate a pullback as this stock comes back to earth before another leg up. Now, the next one I want to go over is Msos. I've been talking about this one lately. I'm still in this trade. Unfortunately, we did go down. I did another video for someone yesterday, Nolan, and we did not make it to 950. Unfortunately, I did talk about these gaps to the south side that we did fill. So this one is no longer a threat to our account to the south side. I will delete that. We hit it today. Now the other one is at 7:55, closes out at 7:46. But I think if we hit this line on a Friday, we will see a little bit of a bounce, but eventually this one will close out, I think. And then we'll see another ride up, but I don't know if it will hit 950 in a short amount of time. And that is the danger of doing options, because I have shares and I can just write it out. That was my intention. So here are your price targets for Friday. Now, every day this thing gets adjusted. Did it end at 99? And in after hours, we're at 797. So I'll put that at 799 though, because I like to do it at closing, not in after hours. All right, here are the targets. Back to the middle of the trend, 837, 901, and at 3 standard deviations, the potential 930. And then at 4, should we see a run up? But I never expect price to go to 4 standard deviations in one day when we're so far down here. If we're up here, then we will hit it, but that's because we're down here. I don't expect it, and unless there's some sort of a miracle. But that would take us to 962. I have my stop limit at 965, so I should adjust down accordingly. But I don't care about getting rid of it right at this moment. So I'm going to ride this one out for the long term, I think. All right, to the south side, 775. This gap forms here at 755, closes out at 746. And -3 standard deviations, where I will anticipate a bounce, is at 742 and 711. And if we get down to these levels again, I will consider buying in again for my mom. But then there's this other gap that I am tracking that takes us potentially all the way down to roughly 603. The RSI, fortunately, is turning up on the 5-minute time frame for Friday, so that's good news. Sometimes this stuff just whips you around. All right, the next one I want to go over is, let's go over Aapl, my favorite stock. All right, we ended the day at 188.63. To the north side takes us to resistance at 190.86. You know what happens at resistance. And 193.15 roughly. And that would, if we go to this 193 level, obviously this will take care of this gap. And I think we could do it on Friday. We are pretty close, and at 4 standard deviations, where I will anticipate a crack and a pullback at 195.59. Are there other gaps I'm tracking to the north side? I'll have to look at this on the 1 hour later and see if there are other gaps, but so far this is what I'm tracking. To the south side, let me move this because this is looking. So on this one, we gapped down, so then we gapped up. So this is done. I just talked about this yesterday at 182.68. So then we made our way up. Didn't quite make it to this level of resistance, but it took out this gap. And this one. This fell down and went up, so this, let me move this. Oh no, this one is done as well. All right, so this is the gap I am tracking next. All right, to the south side, 186.04. Price was at 82.68 yesterday that would be Wednesday when I looked at it. So to the south side, 181.31. 179.02, and 176.61. I do not anticipate it to go to this extreme unless something massively bad happens, maybe with the economy or with Apple, but I don't anticipate that. This gap closed as well. Let me move that. This is when I looked at it last. And RSI there on Aapl is turning up. So hopefully it'll continue to go up on Friday and close out that gap. The 1-year price target is 198.64. All right, the next one I want to go over is Tsla. Oh, yeah, let's do this. All right, we ended the day at 211.88 to the north side, 214.44, 216.53, 218.62, back to the middle of the trend, where price will definitely get 210.37, 206.26, 204.16-ish, and 202.16, which I do not think we will get there. But when I talked about price yesterday, I talked about this gap to the upside. We went up halfway there. Now this just needs to close. I don't know if we'll do it, but definitely I think we could make it to 214.44 tomorrow, Friday. But close out, I'm not sure. And this gap still remains in play here. Many gaps to the upside. We're not in that channel, not in that zone. I shouldn't even bring it up, but I like to mark that out for you just so that if you're doing long-term investing, you can see the potential to the upside and obviously the downside. And this one is still in play. So this will take us to 193.15 whenever we close this out. RSI is kind of looking like it's hooking to the upside a little bit, but if we make it to here, it will come down and price will come down with it. All right, that's Tsla. Let's go to BMY. I participated in this one today because I bought it in my Fidelity account, by the way. Sometimes I have to mark that out because I have another brokerage account and I get not confused, but I just have to look at both of them to figure it out. All right. I'm in this trade. I also have some shares at 50.45, but today I bought some at 48.94 and price went down. Anytime I buy anything, I swear it always goes down. I could never hit the bottom, and that was 48.63. But anyway, I bought in. I saw this gap, and I thought it's within -2 and 2 standard deviations when I saw it. So I thought, well, this one closed. I have a feeling that this one could close to the upside, and there was potential. And sure enough, it did close out today. I set the sell order at 50, and I never saw it sell out, and it made it to almost 2 standard deviations, where I anticipate price to go to either to 2 or 3, but never to 4. And that's, for me, a miracle. Going to the moon. Don't expect it. Don't hold your breath. But it's nice if it does happen. But it did not happen. And now, look at this. The RSI is going down. So I bought in. This is just a quick little, I wouldn't even call it a scalp, but I guess some people would call it a scalp. So today we are at $50.09. Let me mark this out for you. $50.09. Okay. To the north side on Friday would take us to resistance at another level of resistance at 50.20, and above that 50.54. Could it go up to another level, 50.80? Maybe, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Look at this. The RSI is already extended, overbought, and you know what usually what happens. So to the south side, 49.87, 49.22, and 48.56, 48.24, and 47.90. When I bought in at this, oh wait, did I? No, I didn't sell it. From here, when I bought in, there was this gap, this potential gap, and that's what I was shooting for. So I wanted to sell out at this level. So on these, oh, did I buy? I guess I bought it at two other times, here and here. This is why I mark it out, because I have a lot of trades going on, or swing trades. So for this level, I'm going to sell off here, and then for this one, I don't know if I'm going to sell off there as well. I might, just to get out of it. But the potential upside would be here. Obviously, we could never get there, or it could take a very long time to do so. It's your risk tolerance. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that it goes to the upside. But we have had some bad news recently, so you want to do your research there. But the 1 year price target is still $60.87 for the forecast, and then 85 long term down the road. We're not even there, not even close. A lot of trades to get to that level. I just do it 1 day at a time. All right, that does it for me. That's a look at, well, what did I do? Aapl, Tesla, Msos, TSM, and BMY. Thank you so much for watching.